welcome everybody to the lunch bunch, where we meet here every Tuesday to talk about fun and fashion at BT's restaurant in Radford. And the lunch bunch was starting the idea of Diane Whitehead, who's actually here in the crowd. And she decided that she wanted two businesses to collaborate and to help each other with sales. And so years ago, probably about 15 years ago, we started the lunch bunch, where we got together with Garrett's and Eggs, and we got together with BT's to have a lunch every Tuesday. So it has been an ongoing, wonderful project, and I'm just glad to have Diane here today. But we have a special guest here today at the lunch bunch, and I'll introduce him here in just a second. But today we're going to talk about skincare and how to take care of our bodies and our skin. And we have our special guest is Caleb Runyon. And Diane and BT's and myself, we're all about an entrepreneur spirit. And Caleb, who worked for a dermatology office, a local dermatology office, went out on his own and started a new company called the Closer Look Project. And that's what he's here today to talk to us about, is the Closer Look Project and about the skincare and how to take care of everything. But we also want to tell you how to do that with your clothing. And Caleb's going to tell you how to do that, and so am I. So anyway, we brought things from Garrett's and Eggs that we're going to show you that you can wear to help protect you from the sun. And Caleb is going to get up and tell us all about what other things that you can do to protect you from the sun and its elements. So I'm going to turn it over to Caleb.
All right, guys. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate you all. So, as Meg said, my name is Caleb. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I specialize in dermatology and acute care surgery at Runyon Clinic. So, why am I here? What qualifies me to be here? So, working in dermatology. So, several months ago, I saw a pattern of hairdressers detecting skin cancer. They didn't know this is a basal cell or this is a melanoma, but they were able to notice that things were changing. And so I was seeing a pattern of patients saying, oh, my hairdresser noticed this spot, what do you think? And 9 times out of 10, it was cancerous. And so, I didn't really think much of it at first. But then mid-October rolls around, my papa is diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma, which is metastasized to the bone. That's what stage 4 means. And so I started to think, this is an amazing opportunity for me to try and prevent and also promote early detection. My grandpa, 76 years old, Logan, West Virginia, does not like to go to the doctor's office. Hates it. But you will not catch him out without a haircut. So every 8 weeks, he's getting a haircut, 6-8 weeks. And so maybe even sooner than that. So I started to think, how can I encourage and enable hairdressers to be able to detect these things? And so from that point, that realization, I developed something called the Hairdresser Dermatologist Detection Initiative, HDDI. So I started having conversations, building momentum. We got some news coverage. We got some meetings with certain clientele. And I started getting questions from manicurists and tattoo artists and massage therapists and boutique owners and stylists. What about our clients? And so I decided to pivot a bit, and now we have the Closer Look Project, which enables and encourages people who have close contact with their clients to notice those changes and to be educated in telling them how they can prevent skin cancer. So guys, how many of you all can honestly say that you know what a skin cancer looks like? Okay, so 4 out of 6, that's pretty good.
Unfortunately, I've had several removed.
It's so unfortunate. If you do know what they look like, chances are you didn't grow up in a time when sunscreen was super prevalent, right? Or even talked about.
Or available.
Baby oil and
Exactly. But we had SPF 2 and SPF 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that was it.
And then 8.
Plum white, right? So even if you did have it available, it wasn't stylish, and so you weren't going to use it.
Yeah.
So, for the 2 of you that don't know what skin cancer looks like, that's great. That's wonderful you haven't been in that situation yet. But I want to talk to you guys not really about what it looks like, but how can we prevent it? Okay? Prevention is always key, and then early detection is the second thing that we want to focus on, right? So, some ways to prevent sun damage and skin cancer, we all know sun protection, SPF 30 and higher, those types of things, shade,
Meg's hat.
Hats. I wear hats.
Hats, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So guys, who would have ever thought that a hairdresser or a boutique owner or a manicurist would diagnose or help diagnose skin cancer? No one would have thought that, right?
But it makes sense.
It makes so much sense, right? I think that with the help of the Closer Look Project, we can enable stylists and fashion designers and boutique owners to help you guys be fashionably aware. So,
Like that.
to get into that, we got to understand SPF anyway, right? So SPF is your sun protective factor. That basically tells you how long it takes for you to get red when you're out in the sun. So then we think about clothing. It's not considered SPF, it's called UPF, which is ultraviolet protective factor. So that's how clothing is measured in its sun protectiveness, or UV protectiveness. And so, for example, a bucket hat or a wide brim hat has a UPF of 50. So what does that mean? 1/50th of UV rays will get to your skin. That's great. That's a great number. The National Cancer Society recommends a UPF of 30 and up. So 30 to 50, great number. Those are your goals. So just for kicks and giggles, I wanted to look at just some average clothes that don't advertise UPF and just see what they look like. So your average blue cotton T-shirt, UPF of 7. White shirt, 5. So that is 1/5 of UV rays are getting to your skin. That's a lot. Denim might be something that nobody talks about. I'm not sure. It has a UPF of 1,700. That's 100% coverage.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and it's coming back. It's coming back. Yeah, exactly. So, you guys now know how clothes are measured for their sun protection. Do we expect Meg and your department to go out and buy all UPF clothes? No, that's outrageous. It's outrageous and it's expensive. They do a lot of research to back that claim. So you guys are going to be paying for that research one way or the other. So this is why I want to talk to you guys about what you can do to protect yourselves with what you have in the closet, what Meg has at the boutique. You don't have to go and spend a fortune. Just understanding what fabrics, what types of clothing can be protected for you. Some stylish clothing items that can protect you: wide brim hats, like you said, scarves, umbrellas, long sleeve blouses, and pants. So we say long sleeve shirt and pants, you guys probably think heat stroke. So let's talk about fabric and color and fit. Let's do fit first. That's easy. You don't want something that's super snug, right? The more snug that it is, the more the fabric is stretching. And so that increases the availability of UV rays coming into your skin. So nothing too tight. Your fabric. We like tightly woven fabrics and synthetic material as well. Color. We all know that we get really hot if we wear something dark, right? You wear a black shirt, you're probably hot outside. That is because dark colors absorb that ray. They absorb it. So you're going to feel warm, but the UPF is much higher. It's more sun protective. It grabs it away before it gets to your skin. So, and of course, lighter clothing is going to be less protective. The Skin Cancer Foundation recommends starting from the top down. So that's a wide brim hat. That covers your whole face, right? A shirt and maybe some long sleeves or an umbrella or whatever, and then of course sunscreen. 90% of all skin cancers on the head and neck are basal cell squamous cell. Those start out from sun damage. If you can protect the face, that's amazing. We apply sunscreen, we sweat. Yep, your scalp is a very, very important thing. You have that part, that hairline.
Top of your ears. My
Tops of the
father
ears?
had
Yes.
top of his ears taken off.
My father.
I did too. Me.
Yeah, you
Top
too.
of my ear.
In
You'd
practice,
never think of that.
you never
Yeah.
think about it, but in practice, you're driving, right? Left side of the face gets so much sun exposure, you don't even realize
Yeah.
it. Your hands are getting so much sun exposure from driving. No one thinks about those things. And it's just those simple nuances that people don't realize.
All these places
So,
they took off.
I say all that
Yeah.
so that you guys can be intentional with your clothing, be protected, and be fashionably aware. So, do you guys have any questions?
I like that.
Yeah.
Other things that we can do, should we tell our hairdressers that we're interested in having them, keep track of us? So should we tell the person who does a pedicure, or what is your suggestion there?
So not all personnel in that personal care realm are educated on those things, right? There's a little bit, 20 years ago when they did their training. So the Closer Look Project will have some modules for training workshops. If they are interested in that, they can always reach out to me and contact me, and that will enable them to be a little more mindful of those things. So
So we can suggest it to our hairdresser.
To our
Yeah, you
hairdresser.
can give them my contact info and they can get in touch with me. So, yeah.
think they'd all like that, don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
And I'll tell you another one would be masseuses.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Massage therapists for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
They are seeing everything. Right?
Oh, I know.
They're seeing everything.
We just had a masseuse this weekend, and she told a couple of people some stuff. So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
see everything, the nooks and crannies that no one else gets to see. Even, me in practice. A hairdresser or a masseuse is going to see you guys much more often than I am.
Yeah.
I see you once every 6 months or a year.
Right.
So,
That's exactly right.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Turn it over to you.
Thank you. Caleb, that was just fantastic. Yes.
well, the dishes today.
Let's see.
Looks delicious. Chewing before I eat this.
For coming and presenting and
Yes, thank you.
Your idea, your startup. And something I didn't share with you is that this gives me a neat opportunity because my cousin's husband is just
I've been helping
away
out.
in June. And he passed away from melanoma. And that melanoma, he was 48 years old. And that melanoma was found by his hairdresser.
Yeah.
And I had not shared that
What
with you.
wow.
And I feel like this is a way that I can help outreach and do something for Jack Sullivan, who died because he had a melanoma. He was 48 years old. Found by his hairdresser.
Wow. That's awesome.
Which gave him 7 years more to live.
Yeah.
So thank you. So that's crazy.
Yes, it's connected.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meg.
And then I was going to show you all on a very lighter side. I was going to show you all just some great things that are in the store. And what a neat exercise it was for Ann and myself this morning to go around our store and find things that are sun-friendly.
Yeah.
We had never, I always find things like, where they're made, who makes them, and we talk about that, but I've never approached my stock from a fun-friendly way. So I'll just go over a few things that I brought to kind of echo, and if you don't mind echoing in with anything that I can say.
That'd be good.
So we were going to start on the men's side. And isn't it interesting that you talked about the dark clothing? I usually would not suggest dark clothing to somebody, but now I'm going to make that. I'm going to
I never thought about dark
and let
clothing.
you know. Yes, dark clothing is not that bad to do.
Yeah.
So Tammy, we can wear black on the beach.
You can wear black on the beach.
We can wear black on the beach.
My bathing suit and cover up with black.
Tropical makes what they call an island zone, and it's a very friendly type of fabric. It's cool.
I doubt I can get
wear
him.
dark
Well, I don't know.
colors
I'll ask him.
that
Yeah.
are
He doesn't get out.
So this is one of the
I mean, we were getting ready to go somewhere.
This is another one, an SPF of 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that 30 to 50 is the recommendation. That's awesome.
And so that gives you another a UPF of 30.
Wow.
Absolutely. And a really nice fabric. So great things.
Oh, go Tommy Bahama.
Yeah,
I
no.
want to tell you about wearing just natural fibers. That's why linen is so big these days. And
Yes.
It's a great one to, it's just a natural the sun and moisture. So we do have a lot of that. And then, you don't think about it, but shoes. Olaka makes a lot of mesh shoes. Instead of wearing a flip-flop, allows you to cover your feet. Because I know a lot of people that have burned their feet. Or a lot of people that do get cancers on their feet because their feet have been exposed when they usually are covered under a shoe. So this allows you to wear a mesh shoe, a great shoe by Olaka. So that's a great color. I obviously love it. and this one, once again, is with the island fabric, the island zone, which is very protective. So great things. And jumping over to the men's side, we've seen a lot of gauzy fabric, and I recommend everybody buy at least one piece of gauze this year. Because there's so much of it out there. And then if you're out there and your skin's exposed, maybe just put this over top of a bathing suit.
Yeah.
What a better look to just give you a little bit of extra coverage. And if I have anybody who might have, collaborate with Radford University Fashion Department. And
Wow.
yeah.
Great hat.
Great.
There
Gorge.
you are. That's wonderful.
Yes. Come on, Tammy.
And if If you went to their fashion show in the spring, you
They
could
have
see
hats.
a lot of big brim hats.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, great.
That's awesome.
That's right. So what a great look. That's nice and cool and wonderful and protection. And then jumping over to the women's wear shoe.
I have a bunch of stuff to bring to them.
Same thing. Overtime has more of a kind of a mesh tennis shoe. And if you don't have, I have every color in these, but if you don't have every color, they're wonderful because they keep your feet really, really cool. But yeah, they cover them up. So instead of having a flip flop, you can have a tennis shoe that feels just as good and gives you just as nice look. And easy in, easy out in the back, which is really nice. That's a nice
feature. I love
flip flop.
that.
Yeah, great. Brand new in our store is this little skirt. And it has, as you can see, the 50 for protection,
Wow.
which is quite a bit.
And it's black.
And it's black. So, you know, when you're walking on the beach or whatever, you put this over the top of your bathing suit, and it's just a great little piece. I have a lot of women that come in and they say, oh, I can never show that much of my legs. I say, do you still wear a bathing suit? Well, yeah, I go to the beach. I'm like, okay, this is where you wear that. So it's a great piece for that. Wonderful for that. But a great sun protection. And then I noticed all these new pieces, a brand new shirt, have the sun protection on them. So
That's awesome.
Great pieces,
Wow.
very washable, easy way to protect yourself out in the sun. And add to a bathing suit, gives you a little more coverage. You don't have to slap on this
So
much
I'm
up
never
in
going out to
sunscreen.
bathing
You
suit
have
again in
some
my life.
That's awesome.
so definitely cool.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, our wonderful umbrella. And this is more like a parasol. We have them with beautiful designs on them. I'm superstitious, so I don't know.
Yeah, same.
Exactly.